Happy Saturday, folks. Today is Saturday when we're filming. Happy Sunday by the time, obviously, you are seeing this. If you're new, welcome. And if you have been here before, welcome back. And thank you for subscribing. And welcome to This Thing of Ours podcast,
where we talk about all of life's highs and lows.
And everything in between. Well, today's going to be a hot mess, I think. Well, not just because of the weather. The weather is a hot mess, too. We didn't actually have anything planned, so today's gonna be a podcast about nothing. Yay!
No, it will be about something,
because something is nothing. Isn't that what they said in Seinfeld, that episode?
Yeah, that was a good episode. I love Seinfeld.
I know, we should actually watch it after this podcast.
Yeah, I know, you got like all the seasons, eh?
I think I'm missing 2. Yeah, roughly 2.
You know what's funny though, I actually put it on the other day at work.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the TV and someone turned it off.
Really?
And they said, I actually don't like Seinfeld. I said, how can you not like Seinfeld?
Who doesn't like that show?
I know.
Do you guys like that show? I need to know who doesn't like that show. Like, I think George is probably the funniest character. I think the best scene so far that I can like recall is when he almost got that girl pregnant. Okay. And he goes, my boys can swim. We did it. We did it. They can swim. I think that's the funniest episode I can think of.
There's a lot of funny parts. Yeah. But the show in general, it's actually really funny. And to be honest, going back, there's not that many shows that I can actually watch reruns of. Like, there's a few.
What do you mean? You mean like shows today? Because I feel like the shows today are totally different.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The shows today, it's like you can't really just sit back and rewatch them.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's just not the same as shows like Seinfeld or like King of the Hill, like The Simpsons, like shows
Fresh
like that.
Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince, yeah. Like you can go back and watch those and they're funny.
Yeah, but I feel like it probably has to do with our childhood, you know, because we kind of grew up in that time where it was coming up, and now rewatching it, it's like, oh, I'm watching my childhood. I'm reliving my childhood all over again. You know what I mean?
That's true. Maybe it is just that.
I mean, I just finished watching Desperate Housewives on Amazon Prime. Do you remember before Netflix and we had to wait every week for a new episode, and sometimes they would skip a week or 2 weeks and you wouldn't see the show again for another month, and finally the TV show would be like, new episode this Saturday.
Now Netflix just releases them all at once, lets you binge watch the entire season.
See, I love that though. I really enjoy binge watching. I hate waiting. I don't like the anticipation for next week.
Yes, that is a good thing that you don't have to wait. But then again, it's like, for us, we sit there and watch the entire show in 2 days, and then we got nothing else to watch.
So we'll find something else.
It's like, at least this gives you a chance to just, sit down for an hour, watch a show, and then you wait till the next week. Then you sit back down for an hour, watch a show, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
But this, I feel like Netflix definitely made it so we waste more time in a sense, which is one thing I don't like about it. I don't want to
say, is it waste time, or would you say it gives us something to fill up our day with?
Yeah, I guess you can say it like that.
Because there's some days where we do nothing, like literally nothing. We're like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. It's too hot outside. And speaking of hot outside, it is calling for severe thunderstorms where we are. We have 32-degree weather. Isn't that before the
Humidex? Yeah, it's like 38 right now.
Really?
With the humidity, yeah.
If you're wondering why I'm in a sweater, it's because we finally have AC.
Well, like central air.
Yeah, central air, but AC. And literally, I don't think I'm ever going back, no matter where we move next. No. I lived without AC literally for 10 years. So all those hot summers that we had to live through, we only got AC for the very first time last year.
Last summer, yeah.
Yeah. And after that, I was like, yeah, we're never going through another summer again.
And literally we only had the one portable unit in the bedroom. So that's where we hung out when we were home.
Summer.
And I just remember the first day we brought it home. We set it up in the bedroom,
Yeah.
and our dog, Trumpet, just laid on the bed. He found the spot where it was blowing right on him, and he just passed out right there for like the entire night.
Yeah. It was so hot. I just hope that the lights don't go out so that the AC don't kick out, because
I know.
it's hot.
Mhm.
We took Trumpet outside, and obviously didn't wear this outside, but we took Trumpet outside, and it was just sweat.
Yeah.
Like, you know those hot days where you step out of the shower and you're just already sweating and you're like, "Ooh, this is disgusting. Like, I want to go back into the shower." Type of thing. That's those. Today is that day. Today's that type of day. But right now it is raining pretty heavy. It's thundering and lightning. So I don't know if you guys can actually hear that in our background of our mics.
Yeah, I think they might have just heard that. It was pretty loud, that thunder that just happened.
Yeah.
But,
speaking of that, I want to know what you guys think so far about the quality of the audio and the quality of the video. Let us know in the comments below, because we are trying to constantly improve the podcast, the audio, and, you know, just the topics that we're covering. So, yeah, let us know what you guys are thinking so far. If you guys like our editing, if you guys like the audio, if it sounds okay, just give us some feedback. Is always welcome, and we appreciate it.
Some constructive criticism.
Yeah. We can handle it, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I want to go back to like having no AC, because like if you guys don't have AC and you live in an apartment or whatever that doesn't have it, those days are tough. The summer is really tough to get through. Like, I just remember times where it was so hot, you're like sitting in your underwear, basically naked on the couch, just dying. Like, is it ever gonna cool down?
Yeah.
Just wishing for rain.
That's an image to remember.
Yeah. No, but it's true though. And if you know, like that, there's nothing else you can do except strip down and just.
I remember those days when we would just go over to your mom's house because she has AC, and I'd be like, "Can we come over?" Or we would just show by her door on Saturday. Yep. I didn't know you guys were coming over today. We got no AC. It's too hot for this. So we would just come over with our bags. But speaking of parents, if you guys missed last week's episode of how Curtis finally met my parents and what that experience was like, here's a sneak peek of what you missed.
You were mentioning how, like, the reason why you're nervous to meet the parents is because, you know, you don't know if they're going to accept you, first of all, if they think you're good enough. You know, like, what does this guy have going for him that, you know, will be able to support my daughter and, you know, have a life with her, basically. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's the things that run through our head when we have to meet our girlfriends or boyfriends' parents. Just, you know, are they going to accept us for who we are and allow us, sort of, without judging us? So yeah, that was just a sneak peek of how I met her parents. Also in that video is how she met my mom.
Oh, you know what I read this week on Google? Was actually, I was listening to the news and they were talking about this. What city do you think is the most expensive to live in right now in Canada? Do you think it's A, Montreal, B, Calgary, C, Toronto, or D, Vancouver? Comment below what you guys think it is. But when I was reading this article, it said that Toronto is now the most expensive city to live in. I was shocked in the fact that I thought it was already the most expensive city to live in. Like, I thought Toronto was just expensive to begin with, because I remember when I was looking for apartments to move to Toronto, this is way back before we thought about moving to Ottawa. I remember seeing apartments already close to 2,000. So I always thought that, okay, since Toronto is well known, you know, a lot of movies are filmed there, I just thought that Toronto was already the most expensive city. Like, did you know that it was Vancouver?
I read an article years ago that said, yes, Vancouver is the most expensive city in Canada. But I feel like, being from Ontario, everyone just always talks about Toronto.
I feel like the whole world talks about Toronto.
Well, yes, you're right. But yeah, everyone just talks about Toronto being super expensive and you get a little sardine can to live in for like
A
$2,000.
sardine can.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like I know people that have moved out to Toronto and live in Toronto, and you get like a small little box to live in
Hmm.
for an apartment, and it's costing you like $2,000. Whereas here in Ottawa,
Or in other places as
yeah,
well.
but I'm just comparing it to here. Like you see apartments going for the same price, but they are a little bit larger. Like you get more for that price,
Mm.
right? Like, yes, there's still technically a 1 or 2 bedroom, but it's a bigger space
Yeah.
for that price.
Yeah, we made a podcast episode, I believe, about this already, about talking how life is expensive.
Hmm.
And I don't know that I feel like that article didn't really shock me in a bad way. But if you guys said Toronto, you are right. When in doubt, always go with C.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that on your test.
Yeah. I don't want to get in trouble for you failing. Or if you passing, I don't know. But don't let me influence you.
But yeah. No, I don't know. Life is expensive, and it has a lot to do with where we are in the economy right now, and like how things have played out after kind of opening back up from being shut down with COVID and everything.
Do you
Right?
think climate change also has an effect on why
It
things are getting more expensive? Because now weathers are changing in certain areas. So I guess those places that used to make like certain fruits, now
mhm,
they aren't going to be able to make good fruit, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
Like, do you think climate change might have an effect on this?
it probably does because it will affect crops, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Um, so yes, it definitely could, and it could raise prices if they're not yielding as much as they are used to. And then if they're not yielding as much, then they're not feeding their animals as much, and things like that. Or they have to pay more for it, so then they have to charge more for the meat. Things like that. It all comes full circle. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Actually, I was reading something the other day about how it's almost more beneficial now based on this price to rent ratio that they use. It's more beneficial now to rent than it is to buy a home.
Does
Based
the article
on
say why?
it does. I'll link it in the description. Basically, in the United States, it's actually worse than here in Canada currently.
Mm.
The ratio is a lot higher, and the higher it goes, the more beneficial it is to rent. I just feel like home prices have gone through the roof, and now that the central banks are raising interest rates, it's raising mortgage rates, and like a $500,000 home, you're going to be spending like an extra $200,000 just on interest on that home over the course of your term. So just months ago, back in February,
Hmm.
you could have got a $700,000 home at like 2% interest, 2 point something. Now you're looking at like 5%, 6% interest on that same home. So you can't afford it. A lot of like if you could have afforded it then, you can't afford it now. It's crazy how things have shifted so quickly.
Didn't you say that the Bank of Canada raised their interests? What was it?
It's 2.5% right now.
Is that how high they normally raise it? Like when they do raise interest rates?
No, I mean a few years back it was above 2%. But it's the speed of the rate hikes
Mm.
that's hurting the market, and hurting and affecting everything so dramatically at the rate it is. Because normally they'll do a raise, and then a few months later they'll raise again, and they'll raise again, and then a few years down the line, then they'll start decreasing rates and things like that. But they just up and went with a whole 1% interest rate hike that really, really shocked the markets. And we've almost yet to see the effects of that. It's almost as if they're trying to crash the market because they know there's nothing else they can do.
Why would they want to crash the market though? Like, wouldn't that cause a recession and more people would be homeless or could possibly be homeless and not be able
Yeah.
to afford certain things for themselves, for their kids, the house? Like,
I mean, for them, it's kind of a lose lose. Doesn't matter what they do. at this point, shutting down the economy for COVID and lowering rates to what they were, almost zero. Um, they they almost have to, as bad as it is, and as much as it sucks, and it will hurt a lot of people. It's almost like hitting the reset button, right? I'm sure they don't want to. They almost have to. Wow, it just got really bright.
It got really bright. Okay. So the storm has passed. Now it's super bright. So we're sorry about the quality of this video has officially changed.
Yeah.
I don't know, even like the price of grapes. I just spent $14 on a bag of grapes. That's insane. Normally a bag of grapes would have cost me like $6. Even then, I feel like I probably would have been like $6 for grapes. But $14 is a lot.
Yes, it is.
Even like going to the grocery store to get other things like meat. I noticed meat has been increasing. The normal vegetables that we normally buy has increased. I just feel like, the small little things, everything has increased by a lot, not even like by $1 or $2. But it's funny how things creep up on the consumer, because I feel like we talk about, not us, but I feel like in general, like the world does talk about a recession that's coming. But at the same time, I feel like, is it really going to come when we think it's going to come? Because normally I notice that when things do happen, it slowly creeps in. And then after, it's like too late, like we're already there. So is that kind of like what's happening right now? And we're kind of just going through it without really noticing that we're going through a recession? Because I've noticed that a lot of like the homeless rates have gone up here, which is really sad. Even drugs, the use of drugs and the clinics that are opening for help of drugs also have increased as well.
Yeah. No, and it's true. The end consumer doesn't really pay attention to it or notice it until it's almost too late.
But I feel like there's signs. Like when we go to the grocery store, like, wasn't this like $3? And now it's like $6? Oh, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like we question it, but we don't actually take it seriously until like we start noticing and more people are picking up on it. And that's when it's finally broadcast. And then people are like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure things are more expensive than it used to be now.
Yeah. And what you were saying though, how it's almost too late, or we don't know until we're in it. I feel like that is very true. Like when things just start raising on us, we don't, like you said, we don't really question it. We're like, that's weird. I thought this was this price, but whatever. And then eventually just everything's so expensive and our quality of life just went down like dramatically. We're not able to buy as much groceries as we once did. We're not able to just drive around and do things, go out as much as we used to, because now everything's just crazy expensive. And now our quality of life has decreased dramatically. And it's actually way worse right now in Europe. Like their inflation rates are absolutely insane. Like they're in the 20% mark in some countries in Europe.
Oh.
Yeah, we're here in Canada, we're sitting at like 8-9%. Same with United States. They're around there. I think it was 9.1 last month. But yeah, like I would hate to see how bad the quality of life has shifted out in Europe right now.
If we have any subscribers in Europe who are watching this podcast right now, let us know what are things like right now where you live, because I'm curious to know what's happening around the world, other than just what the news is showing me. I want to know what
is actually happening.
Yeah. Another coworker that I was talking to, they were saying how, they wanted to move out and they were looking for a spot, 1,200 all inclusive, 1 bedroom. Now it's very, very rare, I think, to find a spot, I think nowadays, that is all inclusive, that's around that price, because a lot of things like the gas bill and electricity has increased too. Like the delivery fee alone costs like $35.
Delivery fees more than the usage some months.
Yeah. So I feel like is all inclusive still a thing for some apartments? Because I feel like now it's will pay your heating bill, but you have to pay like the electricity bill or something.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's almost one option for the other. I feel like the all-inclusive days almost are over.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because someone I work with too, he was telling me how like he has no money at the end of the month. He has a roommate, but he still has like no money at the end of the month. And he's super excited that now his girlfriend is going to be at the end of this month moving in with him. Right. So now there's going to be 3 of them splitting rent on a 2-bedroom apartment. So now he'll actually have a little bit of money saved up at the end of the month. Whereas right now he's basically living paycheck to paycheck just to live.
Like, I feel like side hustles have also increased a lot. I think more people are starting to get into like the real estate market of looking for other ways to make money. Now we're not relying on just one job. And I don't know if that was just gradually increasing before COVID. And then once COVID hit, it was just like a skyrocket of everybody wants to make extra money on the side because everybody wants to have that extra cash now just to survive, right?
I feel like throughout COVID, a lot more has been pushed towards people. I feel like more marketing and things like that about side hustles.
Yeah.
And I feel like you said, you almost need that extra income to supplement your basic earned income from your job. Especially with the way interest rates and everything's going up right now, you almost need that extra income.
Yeah. I remember when I was in college, I did surveys.
Yeah,
I did surveys for the money and didn't make that much money off of it. But I wonder if I still have that money in that account. Because I think you need like a minimum to withdraw.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever actually hit the minimum, but I did a couple of surveys.
Yeah.
For some money. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I've done that too online.
And blueberry picking?
Blueberry picking, yeah, we've done that. People that are delivering food right now.
Oh, DoorDash?
Like that popped off.
Oh, yeah.
During COVID. Like people were going crazy. You couldn't even sign up if you wanted to. Because it was just full. They had too many drivers.
Yeah, definitely for skip the dishes. Yeah.
But I feel like the price of gas now.
Yeah, but I read online that they were going to help out the driver.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was an Uber thing. I think Uber said they were going to help with the driver. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read online. That they were going to try to help out the driver because obviously gas has increased. I think gas right now, though, is down.
It's down a little bit. It's under $1.70 a liter right now. It was under that today when I saw it.
Do you remember during COVID when it was like 89 cents? I think that's the lowest it went down.
It went down below $1. Yes, it did.
Bring back those days of no gas. $5 gas rides. That's what we need.
$40 fill-ups.
Yeah. I know, because my car is small and it usually only takes like $40 to fill up. But now it takes like $60.
Yeah.
An extra $20 just to hit that full mark.
Yep. Oh, I know. My car is just ridiculous. It's almost $100 to fill it.
I know. I wonder, like, people who drive trucks. I remember when I pulled up to the gas station right behind, because sometimes, like, you know, they don't clear the screen when you get there. Someone spent like $300 on their truck to fill it with gas, and I just felt so bad. I was like, damn, your bank account. Your bank account.
That must have hurt.
That hurt me, just seeing that number. I would have stopped after like 40.
I don't know if you've seen that meme. During COVID, people had their masks on at the pump.
Oh,
and then after COVID, they have their mask on their eyes. Yeah, just fill it. I don't want to know the price. Just get it done. Get it over with.
I heard that they're trying to stop people from paying inside the store. Now you have to pay at the gas pump. Tell you the truth, I don't know how I feel about that because I remember, like, what was it? That American TV. It was an American TV show about crime.
I don't know. But
anyway.
Dateline? Maybe.
No. Anyways, they were talking about how like people's credit cards get stolen from using it at the machine. And that's how I've always like pictured gas stations. And that's why I've never actually wanted to pay at the gas station. I always went inside because I was always too afraid that my identity would get stolen through a machine like that, because it's common it's common back in the day. Obviously technology changes now, but it was common for people's identity to get stolen back then. So I've always been iffy about wanting to pay at the gas station. But I know when we went to the gas station in Montreal, they were like, nope, everyone pays at the pump now. And we're like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. So we actually went to a whole different gas station because I refused to pay at the pump.
Yeah, no, they are trying to shift towards that, to where you have to pay at the pump for whatever reason. I don't understand why. Never really asked. And I'm sure maybe the person at the counter wouldn't even know why they're changing it.
But that's how Costco is. Costco's gas, you have to pay at the pump.
Yeah, you have to authorize up to $200 on your card. Put your card in, and then it'll just charge you what you've used, but you have to authorize up to $200.
Actually, I don't think I would ever really feel comfortable paying the pump. But I think if they're going to shift that way, you should have the option of going in and being like, I only want to put 20 or 40 in. Yeah. And then they just set the machine like they used to do to like the 20 or $40 that you paid already, like prepaid. Yeah. I would feel more comfortable doing that than me just putting in my credit card or my debit card right there in the machine. Like, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, no, there is a lot of scams out in this world. Like, you got to be very careful. Like, I keep seeing videos of people's cars getting stolen. Like, I just watched one this morning, actually. At a red light, they very, very lightly bumped the back end of a car, a nice car. And because the guy got hit, he hopped out of his car to like exchange insurance and everything. And then the guys hopped out with guns and stole his car.
What?
Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's crazy the things that are happening. And I don't know if random things like this have always happened. And now with social media and cameras being everywhere, if we're just seeing it more, and it's being
broadcast more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now more people can be aware of what's happening.
I don't know if that's what it is or if it's actually getting worse. I don't know.
And with everything being filmed, I think things have always been worse. It's just now you can actually share, like, this is actually what's happening now. Yeah. So now it's not like pick and choose what is going to be shown to the public. Everyone can see it now once it's online. So I think maybe that's why it feels like it's
worse.
It's worse than it used to be.
Yeah, because like at one point it was only the news, and they only had a limited time,
and the radio.
But they had a limited time to broadcast what has happened. Yeah. So they had to, like you said, pick and choose what they would talk about. Now it's just like you just keep swiping and just keep seeing random things.
Oh yeah, definitely on TikTok. Yeah, like I know we made a TikTok account, but we're not really active on that TikTok account.
Honestly, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just getting older, but I feel like it. Honestly, like I can't make those little videos like people do on TikTok. I don't know how they do it.
I think you just don't want to learn. It does seem time consuming, but everything is time consuming now, So
I haven't taken the time to learn it. Yes, that's what it is. I know that's what it is, because if I tried to and I spent the time to learn the platform,
you might become addicted.
Maybe.
Yeah, you might become addicted because like I don't really go on it. Like I have the app on my phone, but I'm not on TikTok. I want to say I'm more on Pinterest because I like to look at, the fashion, what people post, and even like look at new recipes. I know there's recipes now like you can find on TikTok, but I just find I don't know, I'm more still on the YouTube platform, I think. And on Instagram, I haven't really like looked into too much on TikTok yet. Yeah. So I guess you're right. I think, but the thing is, I don't even watch TikTok that much though. That's the thing. Like I get notifications because I have the app, like I said, but I don't really click on it. I mostly watch like the stories on Instagram, or I go on not so much Facebook anymore, but I'm still off and on there.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the platform I use the most is YouTube.
Yeah.
That is just what it is. I don't know why it's that way, but let me know what you guys use the most of. Is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Facebook?
Speaking of Facebook though, like what is that metaverse thing people are talking about? Like what exactly is that life right now that's being created? Because I have no idea what it is. Like, you can buy something digitally, and
Yeah.
like what do you do with it? You can't hang it up. Like, I need to know like exactly what it is.
Yeah, I honestly I don't really know. I've heard a few little things like you can buy land, people can open up shops, but I don't really know or understand how it works.
So it's like the real life Sims.
Basically, is from my understanding, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I feel like that was an episode of The Simpsons when Homer he entered into a new universe through the closet. Do you
Okay.
guys remember that episode?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he basically came to real life as a cartoon. Like, I don't remember what episode it was in.
And Bart went in for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that episode.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's kind of like what it is. Like, the cartoon world was their world, and now they discovered human life through like this closet type of thing. And this is kind of like what we're doing, right? We're putting that thing on our eyes, and we're entering into a whole new world.
See, I don't even know if that's what it is, though.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you have to put the
VR glasses? Is that what it's
virtual
called?
reality glasses. I don't know. I really have no idea how it works.
If you guys know how that works, comment below, because I'm really curious. Like, you buy land, but like, what do you do on this land?
I don't know. And apparently, it's not cheap. Like right now, land's going for like over $10,000
What?
in the metaverse.
Yeah, something you can't even touch.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast where he was talking about how he bought land and it cost him over $10,000. And there's other platforms similar to metaverse where you can buy land for cheaper, but yeah.
But that metaverse, is it Facebook's thing or is it?
Yeah. Metaverse is Facebook. Yeah.
Okay. Is that why he changed his name? Like,
yeah,
the whole system? Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And I feel like he knows that Facebook isn't as popular and kind of TikTok's starting to take over. So I feel like that's why he's shifting into that whole metaverse thing and he's trying something different. It's very hard to understand because I don't know it and I haven't done a lot of research into it. So from the little bits that I've heard, it's very hard to understand why anybody would even be interested in it.
It reminds me of The Sims, and I think that's why I have I have some interest in it because, you know, growing up playing The Sims, that was like one of the best games, computer games that I've ever played, you know?
You build your own house.
Build your own house, and there was a cheat code to make millions of dollars on Sims. Like, if there's a cheat code in that life, sign me up. Sign me up for that life.
But the thing I don't understand is you have to come back to reality at some point.
Eventually, maybe we won't.
Or if you can make a bunch of money in there and sell it to other people, you can improve your life
in the
real world.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if you know, let us know because I don't know where this world's heading. No. I am so confused. And I'm just trying to like wrap my head around the little things that are happening. Yeah. And but at the same time, protect my energy because that's what I said I was always going to do. What do you want for supper? I'm actually kind of hungry.
I'm starving. I didn't even eat lunch. You ate lunch.
I ate lunch.
What'd you even eat?
I had rice and some vegetables. That's all I had.
Okay, so you didn't eat much.
No, I had something small because I didn't know if you wanted pizza, if you wanted tacos. So like I was like, let me just have something small because I was really hungry. Yeah. I don't know. What are you feeling for supper?
I'm okay with pizza.
What are you guys having for supper? Are you having pizza? Are you having rice, chicken? Let us know.
You know what's funny though? Now that you say it, and it just popped in my head. My mom at one point was talking to someone from the States. And he came down to Canada and she mentioned that we're going to have supper. And he looked at her like, what is supper?
What do you mean?
And she's like, well, it's what you eat at supper time. Like, it's what we're going to eat. He's like, supper? Who called it supper? So apparently, if this is actually a thing, apparently it was to him, supper is not a word that they use in the States. It's just dinner. They call it dinner. Maybe that was just where he was from specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys call your evening meal?
Yeah. No, and it's actually real. Like she mentioned to the same guy, "Oh, do you want a pop?" He had no idea what a pop was. To them, it's soda.
Well, I hear both terms, soda, pop. Well, I think I only recently started saying pop.
Here we hear pop. Or we say pop. But in the States, it's just soda. You want a soda.
What do you call it when you go to the, like when you go to Subway or something, they say you want a fountain drink? Is that what they say? Or do they call it a pop or something?
No, fountain drink.
Oh. Different parts of the world has different sayings for everything, right? Like soccer is not really soccer. They call it football. Every country has their own little saying for something else, you know? So let us know what saying you guys have that's totally different from Canada. Do you guys say pop, soda, dinner, supper? Yeah, I don't know. But this podcast is definitely about nothing. And I hope you guys enjoyed this because we are going to go eat because my stomach is hungry.
Yes.
And the storm has passed. So thank you for spending Saturday, but technically Sunday with us. Yeah. So happy Sunday, folks. And next week is a whole new week. So come back because we will be right here. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. Like this podcast. Once again, it was a podcast about nothing. And I think we're going to probably name it that. Because I don't even know what we would name this podcast.
Yeah, it was just a random conversation. It went where it wanted to go. That's it.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for tuning in to the podcast about nothing. And we will see you guys next Sunday.
Yeah. Or you can click link over there for our previous videos.
Yeah, where we actually talk about something.
All right, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace. I didn't tell you that they were over. I remember I just said, "Oh yeah, come over, come hang out." So you came over, and I opened the door. And I said, and I closed it right behind me, and I was like, "Curtis, my parents are here." And you're like, "What? Why did you tell me? I would have dressed better."